We're live. Let's play some music. Okay, welcome everyone to a new episode of the Women's Empowerment Series. Today I have a beautiful and incredible leader, a friend. I feel like you're my sister. We just feel so connected, from far away. And I'm so honored to have you. Welcome, Ghazala Jabeen.
Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you so much, Hynd. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. And what an amazing show that you're running. And I'm honored to be here as your guest today. Thank
Oh,
you.
well, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. Let us know where you're connecting from. We're live streaming in different platforms on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And we would love to greet you as you come in and also as you're watching us on replay. So this is your time. And I wanted to highlight your incredible your journey. You're a bestseller. You're a number one in so many things you do as a leader, as a marketing, as a branding. And so, who is Ghazala? How did you start all of this and all this spark in your life?
I'm actually, when I look at the journey, they always say only ever look back when you can gauge how far you've come.
I
So,
like that one.
when I think that I didn't speak a single word of English, and I came to the UK as a little baby, just not knowing anything, no language, no nothing.
Mhm.
But my story really has been from suppression to expression. So coming from a cultural backgrounds, I really surprise myself sometimes to be on world stages speaking at events with top leaders, and I think at one time I couldn't even speak a word of English.
Wow,
It's been
that
quite
is
a journey.
wow. But this is really good because we want to hear more of that, so that people who just tells you, think that it's too far away. I don't have the language. Doesn't stop. It didn't stop, Ghazala. It didn't stop me either because I didn't have the English. either.
That's right.
You're like, I went to Harvard. I could barely understand my professor. I'm like, I don't know what he's telling me. I'm like,
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
that's incredible. And look at you now. You are, bestseller. So tell me, what do you do? What you share? You have all these people. Welcome everyone who are with us today, and this is going to be so much fun. So stay on and let's get motivated with Ghazala.
Thank you so much. Well, if I just bring my 34 years industry experience and my life in evolving processes, right?
Are you sure it's 34? Because I think you're counting from teenagers' time, aren't you?
I wish I could say that. Yes, I keep saying to people I'm on the wrong side of 40. So it's the
Yes.
best way I can describe that one.
Okay.
But yeah, so as I say, as a young kid, I came culturally. We didn't. Well, I didn't go to school till later on. So
So where did you come from? I know we have a
I
lot of
came
people watching us.
originally. Yes, I was born in Pakistan.
Okay. So
Yes,
you came
I was
from
born
Pakistan.
there, and I
Mhm.
came to the UK. My dad was already here, so we came, to be with dad. And mum came, and my brothers and sisters. So, well, not actually, my sister wasn't born at the time, just my brothers and I. And we came, and it was really that's our humble beginnings. I left my grandma in a beautiful, lovely lantern lit village to come suddenly to the UK. Seemed like all these lights. We call it Blackpool illuminated lights, right?
Wow.
And
Yes.
yeah, it was quite an eye opener for me and lots of changes. But one of the things that I felt as a youngster was when I was able to once we settled down in the house and I
Mhm.
was stepping out to meet people, I saw a lot of English people,
Yeah.
and one of the things for me was, oh, they're a very different color to me. So
Oh,
so as a little kid, I'm thinking, why are we different?
yeah.
Why do they look light and I look dark? And there
Yeah.
was a little mindset of mine at that time, like I didn't fit in. It was an alien world that I had arrived to.
That's incredible.
And one of the scary things I did, which I look back still and I think it could have been worse, but my auntie was cleaning and she dropped some bleach on the floor and the carpet tiles changed color.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I could change color too. So I got this bottle of bleach, and I just no, I didn't drink it. I
Oh,
put the bleach on my hand to see if my color would change.
oh my God.
And of course it didn't. But
How old were you at that time?
I was only six and about 6.5 years of age, that age when I came.
Yeah.
So of course I just was trying to fit in. Isn't it interesting? Even in a very young age, a
Yeah.
color thing, you're not intellectually there, but
Yeah.
even in color or the surroundings or what the eye
You
sees,
know there is a difference and you want to fit in
I
somehow.
wanted to fit in. And when we look at society at large now, people want to fit in within it. And it's quite a that was quite an eye opener for
Really.
that space. But I moved on. I didn't drink it. I didn't change color in that way. I
You
didn't.
are so beautiful. It's like everybody now wants to look like that. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness! So over time, I used to, I used to say like, girls in my culture when they're born, it's like they're not very happy about it. There's no celebratory moments. There's like, oh, it's a girl. Don't worry,
Yeah,
your
I
next one
think
might
that's
be a boy.
the heritage we carry with us,
Yeah.
unfortunately, from this type of the word.
And
But
and
this,
it's interesting because even though that's what I came with, my
yeah,
dad was very proud of me. And sadly, my father's passed away, but my dad, he used to call me his VIP. And
yeah.
I said to him one day, Dad, I'm your daughter. I should be your VIP. You're a very important person. And he said, Oh, no, 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 I don't mean that. I said, Well, what do you mean, Dad? He
Mm.
said, You're my very impressive Pakistani.
Ah, so you've been a VIP since very, very young. I love that. It's incredible.
Yeah. I said to somebody, the only qualification criteria that I have at the end of my name now is VIP,
Oh,
obviously
yes, you do.
endorsed by my father. Yeah, that's
But now
right.
you have it as a very important person
Yeah.
for all the work that you're doing. And it's incredible that you say that because, I love the way your dad had, put in you, that's validation. He
Yeah.
already have a stamp for you.
Imagine that. Yeah. I never looked at it quite like that, but that isn't that interesting to look at
It
it that way.
is. It's like a stamp. You don't even need anyone to tell you that anymore. I mean, so aren't we all looking for the validation? And when you think about it, it comes from a wound that is from childhood that your dad didn't tell you that you're impressive enough or your mom didn't. But hey, you got it.
I got
And
that stamp. Yeah. Yeah.
you got that stamp. Hmm.
So
Did
with
it?
it, with my education carry on because my father was a teacher as well. So education was a big thing for us to do that. But the problem was that in the society I was in, we it was that when I realized I had a little voice that was quite strong, it came out to my surprise. Actually, I could have been in big danger with that. But what happened in our secondary school? They
Mm.
wanted to bring the Asian girls to wear their full Asian costume for school
Costume.
uniform.
Yeah.
And I was okay, dressed quite smart. And I said, Dad, I don't, I'm not going to wear one of them Asian outfits because I'm good with what I'm wearing. He said, You're getting very argumentative. He said, Look, we've asked the headmistress there and the headmaster, deputy head, and they have agreed. So I said, Well, I'll tell you what, Dad, I'm going to tell you a reason why I'm not wearing it. You give me a much more stronger validation why I should. I said,
Mm.
and then we can go from there. He said, "Oh, you're treading on dodgy ground
You're
here."
like strong girl.
So I said to Dad, when you drop us off at school, one day choose a day, go in the back of the school and have a look and observe, and
Uh-huh.
then we can have a chat of why I don't want to wear it. And Dr. Hind, it was one of these where girls that were coming from Asian backgrounds, very religious backgrounds, they were coming all dressed up in their good
Okay.
girl, good
Yeah.
girl kind of thing. They would get to school, they'd go to the back gates, meet up with their boyfriends, and disappear. And my dad actually saw this. So I said to my dad, Dad, I don't need an outfit to be a good girl. Good
Yes.
girl is in my heart, and you will see I've never missed a single lesson, and I've got top grades. So therefore, Dad, I don't think I need an outfit to kind of fit in with discipline. I'm disciplined as it is. Thank you very much.
I
And
love that.
everybody went against my dad, and my dad couldn't argue with me because I had a really strong point. That was my first point when I realized, oh, my voice, my
It's hard.
my point of view, as actually it empowered me.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I wish everyone could hear you, every young girl, because that's what it is. But I think what makes you also feel so empowered is that you have a strong values and you know yourself. You know.
That's a good point. This part of values and your belief, your own sort of integrity, ethics, what we come with. This is why I always say, as when I speak and I say, look at the children around you, because every word is a programming in their mind. I
Yes.
was a child that I knew my dad had good, strong disciplines, and
Mm.
also I realized that five of us children came from same household. So why did one end up in jail, and why did others okay? And
Mm.
then I realized that in addition to good values and upbringing, what then happened is, where does the circle of influence we hang out with? That's because
Yes.
when my brother was hanging out with the wrong people and
Mm.
ended up in trouble himself,
Mm.
whereas some of us were hanging out with the good crowd that
Mm.
helped us to be lifted, which is why it's so important, is who do we hang around with, because it has a major effect in our society, ourselves, and our growth or lack of, depending on where we are.
This is very powerful. So not only you have values, believing in yourself, but who do you surround yourself with? Because
Yeah,
it's not enough. Because we live in a community. We're social being. We need
yeah,
to be surrounded. This is
yeah,
very true. And I think it applies to everyone. And we say that also to women a lot. It's like surround yourself with people that inspire you, that lift you up, that, listen to incredible women like you and, on this platform so that you feel like you already have those positive vibes happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It's
You have
incredible.
so many stories. And you know what I love about you is that you share them by extracting the lesson. And it takes a lot of wisdom to be able to do that? Mm.
Yeah, it certainly does. And for me, I always look at, when I'm figuring things out, there are three ways I kind of sit
Mm.
to make decisions of anything, if you like.
Mm.
And one of those things is I think with my head, because I need some logic space happening
Mhm.
in there as well. So I like to figure it out.
Mhm.
Then I feel from my heart, because this the sensory part, what do I feel about this situation?
Yeah.
And then when I make the final decision, I go with my gut, because
Mm.
that is the second brain, and the feeling that, we talk about, is your stomach churning with acidity, or has it got butterflies?
Oh,
And
wow.
if,
Okay.
if we have a frown and we've got acidity, that what we're thinking about making a decision, logic might be okay, the feeling might be okay, but the stomach is speaking a different language, and our body don't tell lies. And so when I get like a smile on my face about something, and I got butterflies going on, and I'm like, I like that, I like
Yeah,
that, I'm gonna go
let's
with
do
that one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that takes a lot of experience to
yeah,
be able to reach that point, to be able to hear your body, because you don't hear it. You're like,
that's right.
that's I don't know what's happening. Let's ignore it.
People don't understand their body or how to tune in. It's like we all have intuitive side, but a lot of people don't know how to tap into it. And it took me some time, not only the journey of education, because my mom said something, Dr. Hind, I want to share with you and your audience, is this.
Mm.
When I speak to my mum, and she felt that she didn't really have a good marriage. My dad was a great man, but I said it takes two to either tango or to fall out. And my mum said, she said, I'm so proud that you've taken education to the level that you can make changes and you've got choices to make changes. She
Wow.
said, for me, I didn't have that. And had I got what you've got, I'd have made some major shifts and changes in my married life as well. In my
So you
married
understood what she meant.
yeah.
Wow.
So to think, and my mum, she just says, what I didn't get, what I prayed for, what I wished for, is what I'm seeing in you, making changes in your life.
Absolutely love this. And I think this is so reassuring to yourself, right?
Yeah,
Reassuring that it's almost a way to help you forgive whatever didn't work, because you
yeah,
know that whoever reacts the way they do, it's from ignorance, from
yes,
not having possibility otherwise. Wow.
yes,
That is powerful. There is a question, so let's put this question before we go to the exciting part of the
sure.
discussion. Could you share some books that have had a profound impact on your personal and professional growth and that you would highly recommend to others? And I think this is a perfect time to talk about your book.
Absolutely. Well, you know something, I'm going to
Mm.
share two very strong um, learning journey of quotation and books that made a big impact on my growth journey to be empowered to write my own. So the first one was a sentence, and I will paraphrase this for you. And it was by the great philosopher Jim Rohn, the
Yeah,
greatest speaker of America, and people are so inspired with so many quotes. His quote to me, well, not to me, the one that it meant to me,
that
I
meant
feel
you.
like he
Yeah,
quoted it to
the one
me.
that resonated with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it resonated with me, which was, if you work hard on your job, you'll earn a good living.
Hmm.
But if you work hard on yourself, you'll earn a fortune, because the value becomes you that's priceless. And
Oh,
I felt that, and I thought, well, I can earn good, but if I got good or fortune, the fortune will help me make better decisions and better choices and
oh
better
yeah.
resources to do that. So
And more
even at a
personal.
younger age, I was like, I
You knew that.
identified the basic to the higher level value. You said value, and what did I value out of the two things? And the second book that I would tell anybody either to refresh themselves, because some people still do not know the power of this book, is How to Win Friends and Influence People, because that's what we do every day, by Dale Carnegie.
Mm.
And when I read that book, I realized that when speaking to people, one of the sweetest sounds to anybody's ear is their name being said. So when you make people count and you talk about their name, as I would say, Dr. Hin, I want
Yes.
it. That's a beautiful sound for you, because I have said something that is sweet to you, which is your name. And that was one of the most powerful things. So when I connected with people, I didn't just talk to them. I used to say, Dr. Hin, I want to ask you a question. And I would talk with your
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
and
And they
it
liked it.
has a personalization, and the power of personalization that I teach people is one element of that. And I think that book will help people to communicate on a personal level, a professional level, but the understanding of the power that they get empowered with. Because we often say knowledge is power, and I say no. What is more power is applied knowledge.
Knowledge,
Is
what you do with the knowledge. Oh, yes. And you know, that as you're talking about names, I think that your name, Ghazala, is what connected us. It's like when I saw Ghazala, I'm like, I know her. I just know you. Because it's true. Because Ghazala, it's beauty, right? It's
yeah,
like, it's the gazelle, but it's also beauty in
yeah.
our language. And I'm like, I just know you. And it's incredible because, but I say it in an Arabic way. So that's probably.
I like it. It is good. It is good. And people do say, so is that correct that you're a gazelle?
uh,
And I say yes. And the meh Jabeen, Jabeen, beauty of a
uh-huh,
deer, gazelle, beautiful deer. And of course, my dad was a teacher. And I'm the only child out of the five of us that actually only ever had my name from being born, unique to me. I didn't
fantastic.
carry my dad's surname. I didn't carry my mom's surname. And when I got married, I didn't even carry my husband's surname. So I was Ghazala Jabeen from birth, and I will remain
And
Ghazala
you
Jabeen
kept
for the
it.
meaning.
But it's such a so okay. So thank you for so much, Madame Gazala. The second one is how to win friends and influence people.
By
The
Dale
first one,
Carnegie.
can you say the first one again?
Yeah, the first one was, it's if you work hard on your job, you'll earn a good living.
Mm,
And if you work hard on yourself, you'll earn a fortune. And that was paraphrased by Jim Rohn. I'm
yeah,
paraphrasing it for him, but that was the powerful statement that made a change for me on a journey to grow.
that's amazing. So and now your book, a bestseller. Yeah, your
Yeah, well,
bestseller.
my journey of all the growth and everything that I've gone through, one of the most beautiful things that happened in my life was one of the biggest risk that I took, which was a life and death risk, because I am actually one of the survivors of honor killings, because I did not, go through with arranged marriages, not because I was against it. It's just that I was not ready, and I had fallen in love with an Englishman, and that was against the family. My Englishman changed and became a Muslim to marry me in whatever it took. He said, I love you, and I will do whatever it takes to win your family, to win you, to do whatever, to have you in
Mm.
my life forever.
It's my
And
it's one of my favorite romantic stories. That's why I always like to hear you saying it.
it was like, my Martin said to me, he said, how do I ask for your hand in marriage from your dad? I said, well, if you want your neck cut off,
You
Yes,
go and do
you
it.
go ahead. He said, what? He said, we're in the UK, we're in the Western world. They wouldn't just kill. I said, they would kill. Trust me, Dad. My dad would actually kill you and me, probably. So Martin couldn't understand it. Anyway, we then had to go to a Muslim priest. Martin became a Muslim. We then tried to speak to the family, tried to work with it. It still didn't work. But we did what we could. But anyway, then when I had arranged for one of the Muslim priests to speak to my dad, it all went wrong. The priest, instead of saying, Mr. Qayyum, we need to
Mm.
look at how we can help with your daughter marrying this man, he's become a Muslim.
Mhm.
And instead of that, it backfired because the priest turned around to my dad and said, we got to stop what your daughter wants to do. Because what kind of message would we be giving to the rest of our Muslim girls? And that backfired. So the next thing is my dad was called to the mosque. Long story short, I have another book on that one, but I'm going to lead into this book. What is the number one? But long and short of it is, I was going to be sent off to Pakistan to be arranged marriage and all this stuff. And Martin said, like, this can't be happening. So we arranged to meet, and Martin handed me a piece of paper. He said, here you go. I said, what is this? I said, it says marriage license. He said, it's not a marriage license. It is a special marriage license. I
Mm.
said, what does that mean? I said, does that mean like it says 10th of August? And he said, yeah, that is. I said, is that next week? He said, no, it's the day after tomorrow. I said, we're going to get married the day after tomorrow. How are we going to do this? He said, listen, you've done your bit by your culture. They have not supported it. Now we're going to do it by the law of the land of this country. And
Wow.
so the day that I left home, which mom and dad knew that I was going to work, is the day that Martin picked me up and we were heading to get married. And something very important happened on the journey there. One was Martin saw that I got upset and he stopped the car, reversed it into the side road, and the left was back home and right was to his home.
Go where you going? Huh?
So which way I go? He said, listen, I need to say something very important to you. And he said, and that is that I want you to marry me because you want to marry me, not because I want you to marry me, because I don't want you to live life with regret. I want this for the right reasons. And if it means you want to go back, I'll take you back
Wow.
because I love you enough that I will take you back because your happiness, it makes me happy
That's
and
beautiful.
whatever. So in life today, I always say I want people in my life because they want to be. That's
Yeah,
another empowering thing
I
that we
love
have in self, right? And I picked
yes.
that from Martin. So we got married. We were a police protected case. All this that long and short. They said she'll come back in a few days. 6 days went by, 6 weeks went by, 6 months went by, 6 years went by. Martin
Mhm.
and I were married for 25 years.
Wow.
And this man that I fell in love with, I made a vow to him. And unfortunately, something very tragic happened.
Mm.
Martin got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which was terminally ill. And he said to me, wifey, if there was anybody that could get a message across the world about the danger of this cancer, I want you to just do a little write up in the paper and just share the awareness of this campaign. But
Wow.
but knowing me as you know me, and for those people who
Yes.
know me, I don't do things small.
Small. You don't.
I took the message, I took the whole his dying wish to keep others alive. I took it, wrote the article. I thought was a small column, first of all, in the local paper. It was front cover. Next thing is, after Martin passed away, I also wanted to do the book in tribute to him.
Mm.
I lit up the most iconic castle here in North Wales,
Wow.
Conway Castle, because I knew Niagara Falls went purple for World Pancreatic Cancer. And I thought, what's big around here that I can make
Yeah,
go
that you can do.
I
Wow.
contacted the
Miss
National
you
Trust. They gave me the access to
that.
it. My daughter and I, we lit the castle, which is featured on my book. And my book is called Loved, Lived, Lost.
Can you
And
show it? Is it purple also?
it
It's
is,
it is. Oh my God! And it's the light of the castle. I
yes.
love it.
And,
This is
and
so
the subtitle is even more stronger. It says, In sickness and in health till death do us part.
wow. Ah.
So that literally was, really what I went through. And, I couldn't give a better tribute to a man that loved me more than I can ever been loved in my whole life. And, love, as I always say, is the real winner here. And the book was written for three reasons. One, to respect, tribute Martin's dying wish to keep others alive.
Sure.
Secondly, to raise awareness for pancreatic cancer, as it's one of the most deadliest cancer and lowest survival rate. And three, to be the voice of those that never got heard and misdiagnosed. And I wanted to make a change for those people. And it was never made for money. And somebody said, being a number one marketing machine, how are you going to market it? I said, we're going
Mm,
to take this book to number one. I
you
said,
did,
I said,
which
I'm
you
not.
did,
I
which
said,
is
I'm
an
not number
incredible
one. Yeah, I said, I'm not number one marketing machine for nothing if I can't take my
thing.
own book forward. So let's
You're a
just,
VIP since
yeah,
you were a kid. You take it as you want, but you just are. You know, you embrace that, you are that, you mirror that in everything. And I think this is so beautiful. You don't just say that. I think your book has more than just that. It's just allowing yourself to be loved for who you are, just how you are, and trust in it. And a lot of time we don't even allow ourselves to do that because of fear.
yes,
Fear of things, which you did, yeah, because you lived with the fear, right, of everything
totally.
from your background.
Literally, to put myself on the chopping block,
Yeah,
that I was literally a life and death, which I knew that I at this point I could just die
yeah,
tonight. I could just die. But
yeah.
you know something, I felt the fear and I did it anyway because the
Yes.
love was the greater winner.
Yeah, that's the thing. But because you allowed yourself to believe in the love much more than you let the fear overwhelm you. And that
And the
takes,
truth, and you know the truth is the other thing, because I was working from a place of truth.
yeah,
This is what I
yes,
feel, this
yeah.
is honest, this is true. And if they're going to kill me for being truth about where I'm at, you know, that was the most empowering space for me. Was I
Mm,
am speaking the truth here. This is
mm.
what is happening for me. And if my life goes before me in the name of truth and love, let it be.
Wow. These are how legends are being made, isn't it? It's
Oh,
like when you truly believe, it's true. When you believe in love, when you believe in the truth, and you just hold on to that, it's like nothing blocks you, nothing stops you. The impossible, you don't even see it, right? There is no impossible. It's like you go. But
yeah.
okay, so I know we have just few minutes left, and I know, and I want you to bring what's made you so special. You know, that other part of you that helped you navigate through that, which is music and dance. And I think, to me, that's the missing part of this puzzle to be able to create an incredible woman like you, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you so much. And the journey has been somewhat fascinating for me as well. I look in the mirror sometimes and I say to myself, "Who are you?" But you know, but the thing is, like, people know me that I am like a Gemini. There are two part of me. There is the business part, which we talked about with the three Ps. And
Yeah.
one of the things on the business, very quickly to share with you, was that I realized people have got amazing products, services, offerings. And when it comes to presenting, they were struggling to really present, and that's why I created the three P's success formula,
Okay.
which allowed people to really pick up on what the purpose was, and I went into detail so
What's
you
the piece
understand.
for? Can you
Yeah,
can you
the
tell it?
three
Remind
P's.
us?
Yeah. So the three P's. P1 is the purpose, because we can't go anywhere without understanding our why.
Yeah.
The P2 was the passion, because if people don't feel what you're delivering, they
Mm.
ain't buying into you. And P3 was the posture, in which way do we project our
Oh,
offering
I
to
like that
people
one.
collaboratively.
Posture.
So I
That's so
created this
witty.
three P's formula, which is one of the most successful formulas that has been created, where even for me, 90% conversion in sales that I do using that formula. So
Mm.
that was my business head. But my other side of the head is because Bollywood world became, because I lost a lot of weight. I transformed through my upbringing of Bollywood movies, and I created a program called Bollywood Burnout, which I shifted
That's
my whole weight from 3 stone weight loss. I was clinically obese, unwell, unfit, mum on the road working, lost my senses of personal care,
uh-huh.
and I shifted this weight, and three friends wanted to know. And it went from three friends that I was going to teach to a class of 33 people that I didn't even want to create a class. Before I know it, 30,000 people I've performed live and became internationally Ghazala,
Ah,
Jabeen, the Bollywood
yeah,
Queen.
But it's interesting because, okay, look at us now. We're talking. You didn't tell us that you performed in front of millions of people, right? Until I had to tell you. Could you compliment how you actually got to that leadership, style and position you are in? That's incredible. Is it being humble, or do you think that is not that important? Why? Why would you
I'm,
leave that until the end? What is the
I,
big thing?
I think stay humble, true, be grounded always, but be clear of your driven focus. And more is, what do you add as your value to others, who you are, what you do. That's my important thing.
This is incredible. You are an incredible woman and an inspiration and a star. That's the incredible part of it, is that, it's like excellence in the work you do. And this is what we all advise everyone to be, women and ladies watching us and listening to us, be so good at what you do. So good. Give it your all. It's like, your three P's: give your purpose, your passion, but also, like, stay humble no matter what you are, and grounded. And
Yes.
I think you are such a beautiful representation of this, that leadership that is full of love and empathy and excellence.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As I leave with this is, I always say, together, let's make a mark as we make a difference. And that's what we're doing today.
That's what we're doing, exactly. And that's why I'm so excited to connect with incredible women like you. And this is what the digital era is letting us do. And I think this is the time where everyone can have a voice, everyone can create a stage, and everyone can just listen to others, be inspired, you know? And
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Wait, long ago.